Do you feel like you've been here before? Or here? What about this one? If you do, is it a good feeling or is it a bad feeling? For me, it's a bit of both. Very nostalgic and comforting, a little scary, but mostly just heart-wrenching. These photos are very liminal and nostalgic, but they also have some magic to them I can't quite put my finger on. In today's video, I want to explain the bizarre history of more popular liminal space photos, and explain why early 2000s aesthetics looked the way they did. To answer the question of if these places really exist or not, it depends. There happens to be a lot of fake CG liminal spaces, but actually I think most of them are real, or at least inspired by real photos. Like for example, this photo is fake, but it was very likely inspired by this real photo, taken when a subway station in Hamamatsu, Japan was flooded in September 2015. I always wondered if this strange photo was real or not. It's been floating around liminal space forums and the greater internet for years. It shows what looks like an old Barnes & Noble or some sort of bookstore that's going out of business, with the eerie sign reading, "The end is near." This ominous photo is actually in fact real. It was taken at a Borders bookstore about a week before its closing, after the company's bankruptcy in 2011. This specific store was located in Yorba Linda, California, and it is now a Sprouts grocery store. There have been countless renders of this image, and I think it's so cool we can see what it would be like to walk around in this bookstore for a day. This next photo was a little harder to find because I don't think anybody's discovered its origin before. This photo I like to call the SpongeBob Backrooms. It feels super nostalgic, and it's been all over Pinterest, Reddit, and other internet forums for the last 5 years. After a reverse image search on Google, I got nothing. It just led me back to the same Reddit posts from around 2020. I tried seeing if there was any helpful metadata in the photo, but that also came up with nothing. For those who don't know, metadata is information hid inside image files that can reveal things about a photo. Certain metadata can tell you the kind of camera it was taken on, the time and date of when the photo was taken, and some can even be geotagged with the location of where the image was taken. But after reviewing the metadata from this image, it didn't come up with anything helpful. I then tried some more specific reverse image searches, and I randomly stumbled upon this TripAdvisor page from August 2011. It's a resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The picture is from a review of one of the resort's condos by user Julia B. Attached underneath the review are more photos taken at the same time, which give us some alternate angles of the condo. It's so weird looking through these after just having that one image to go off of for years. This photo reminds me of one of my favorite liminal spaces. It's what looks like a children's library with an oversized teddy bear and bookshelves scattered around. It also weirdly reminds me of a dentist office I used to visit as a kid, but the origin was recently found. It was taken in the playroom of a Ronald McDonald House Charities in Central Ohio. Its discovery gave us this alternate angle from 2017 as well. It's unknown if the room is still there the way it was, but this is where it was taken. Sometimes you can find similar photos and hidden gems on websites like Flickr, like this one I found of a public library in Westboro, Massachusetts. Looking through these photos, it's like I'm discovering forgotten images. They show a different world frozen in time. It's crazy how much things have changed in just 15 years. The world looks so much different now. The gray carpet, the wooden furniture, and low ceilings gave this place such a homey, warm feeling. This specific aesthetic reminds me so much of another aesthetic popular around the same time called Global Village Coffee House. The name was coined by Evan Collins of the Consumer Aesthetics Research Institute. It was a trend that dominated corporate and commercial businesses in the 1990s and early 2000s. It was originally sparked by the rejection of modern tech-oriented styles of the 1980s, and it embraced more nature and environmentalism in its design. The designs included a lot of hand-drawn art, warm tones, and light wood trim on everything. They also took a lot of indigenous designs and patterns and just threw them into a sort of hodgepodge of what's called greenwashing, the act where corporate companies deceptively mislead consumers to believing the business is environmentally friendly or organic, where in fact they're just as bad as McDonald's or any other big chain. What this aesthetic reminds me most of is Panera, Starbucks, Barnes & Noble, and other big food and retail chains in the early 2000s. The whole aesthetic was a continuation of the Memphis design style in the 80s, and also art from people like Keith Haring. But while this aesthetic reigned king for almost a decade, another flip would happen in the 2000s that was almost the exact opposite of Global Village Coffee House. That aesthetic was called Frutiger Aero.
Wow.
Although technically the Y2K aesthetic predates Frutiger Aero, they are very similar and bleed into each other, and I will be talking about both broadly. The Frutiger Aero timeline was roughly around 2004 through 2013. Companies ditched the rough grayscale design for a more futuristic, glossy look. A good example of this was all of the user interfaces at the time. The Xbox 360, iPhones, and Windows Vista. All of these interfaces included the same key design features like glass, bubbles, water, grass. It's crazy how just the graphic design of the products and devices we use can change so much of how that time period was remembered. After the giant tech companies started using this aesthetic, it became the adopted look of pop culture. Another offshoot of Frutiger Aero is called Frutiger Metro. This one is very nostalgic and has had a huge resurgence today in fashion and general design. The holy grail photo of Y2K and Frutiger Aero is this image. The iconic Windows XP default wallpaper. It shows a vivid green hill under a bright blue sky with scattered white clouds. The landscape is smooth and seemingly untouched, almost too perfect to be real, which led to many people assuming it was digitally manipulated. But surprisingly, it is unedited. It was taken in 1996 by ex-National Geographic photographer Charles O. Rear in Sonoma County, California off Highway 12. It operates as a vineyard, but at the time of the photo it was cleared out due to a bug infestation, giving Charles the perfect time to take this photo. An interesting side note, when Microsoft decided to use this picture dubbed Bliss as their iconic default wallpaper, the original 35mm film from Charles had to be shipped to Microsoft's headquarters in Redmond, Washington, to assure they had the highest quality scan. The photo was licensed to Microsoft for a price unknown, but somewhere over $1 million. This made the film negative worth so much itself that FedEx refused to ship it, fearing it would get lost or stolen, and Charles himself had to fly to the headquarters to hand deliver it. This one photo had a huge impact on the future of graphic design and art in general in the coming decades. If you enjoyed this video, consider checking out part 1 of the series. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any suggestions for what the next video should be, drop them in the comments. And if you're still watching right now, comment the word pineapple. Thank you guys. See you in like 2 weeks. Goodbye.